Well, good afternoon, students. Today we are going to take the death of a partner, where we are going to continue with the second class. In the previous video, we have learned about the calculation of profit, both in case where we have got the past year's profit as well as in case of sales or turnover, right? So today we are going to continue with the treatment along with the treatment with of different changes at the time of death of a partner, whatever, like it's either it is revaluation or it's regarding the profit or it is regarding the goodwill. Okay, so we'll go for that, and before that I'll be giving you the hint of how to solve a sum on death of a partner. Okay, so let's start. So remember that death of a partner means that one of the partner is no more alive, and so in that situation we are going to pay the deceased partner. Okay, so we obviously know that the deceased partner is not going to come and take his share, so it is the executor to whom the payment will be made. Okay, so you have to make the final settlement with the executor of the deceased partner. Clear? So let's start. In the steps, I would like to start with the steps first. So in the steps, first of all, what will you get is that first of all we have to transfer all the assets, sorry, all the balances of capital or current account. Okay, either it is balance of capital or the balance of current account. Okay, accordingly we have to transfer. If the current account is there, then we have to transfer all the adjustments in the current account, and then finally you transfer that in the capital and make the settlement. Okay, and if the capital account is only there, then that means the capital is fluctuating, so all the adjustment will be done in the capital account. Sometimes the current account might show debit balance, so if it is debit balance, then the current account will be, when you prepare the current account balance will be shown in the debit side of the current account. Okay, it will start with debit side, and if it is credit balance, then it will start on the credit side, and if nothing is mentioned, that means it will be starting with the credit side. Then after that, transfer all the accumulated profits, losses, okay, as well as reserves. All these things will be transferred to the partner's account. After that, you have to prepare the revaluation account and transfer the profit or loss on revaluation to the partner's account. It's same like the case of retirement. Okay, then after that we'll go for the treatment of goodwill. If goodwill already appears, then we'll write it off. Okay, if goodwill already appears, then we'll write it off. After that, we'll find out what is the present goodwill, what is the present value of the goodwill at the time of death of the partner, and accordingly we'll give him his share of goodwill. And who is going to give? The gaining partners. Whoever is going to gain, the entry will be gaining partners capital account debit to deceased partners capital account. Clear? After that, we'll transfer the salary, interest or commission, if anything is there. According to the question, we'll find out. If it is there, then we will give. After that, we will go for debiting the drawings, interest on drawings or share of loss, whatever it is there, we'll debit it from his current or capital account. And after that, finally we'll make the balancing. If it is current account, then you have to do the balancing and you have to transfer it to the capital account for final settlement. And if it is only capital account, then you prepare in the capital account itself all the things done, do the balancing and find out what is the balance due. One very important thing that you have to consider is the profit. So that profit also need to be considered before you do the balancing. So when you go for the calculation of profit, this particular thing I have already explained in the previous class also. So go for the calculation of deceased partner share of profit or loss, whatever it is. So that may be calculated on the basis of previous year's profit or loss, or on the basis of turnover or sales. Okay. So when there is profit, okay, when there is profit, if there is profit, then it will be profit and loss suspense account debit to partners capital account. Okay, and if there is loss, when there is loss, if there is loss, then it will be deceased partners capital account debit to profit and loss suspense account. Okay, so profit and loss suspense account we are taking because of the thing that we are not very sure that whether there will be profit or loss. So we are taking in profit and loss suspense account. If it is loss, then partner is going to bear the loss. So when you bear the loss, his capital account will be obviously debited. So that is why deceased partner's capital account debit to profit and loss account, profit and loss suspense account in case of loss. Okay. So coming for the settlement, after that you can go for the balancing. Now you can go for the balancing and do all the balancing of the items and ultimately pay the partner, okay, who has died. You cannot pay him directly, so you have to, what you have to do is that you have to transfer the amount to the deceased partner's executor account. Okay, how it can be deceased part, it will be like this: deceased partner's capital account debit to deceased partner's executor account. First of all, it will be amount, the amount will be transferred to the executor account, and from there, if it is told that you are going to pay and settle it in cash, then it will be deceased partner's executor account debit to cash or bank. And if the question asks you to pay through the loan account, then deceased partner's capital account, deceased partner's executor account debit to deceased partner's executor's loan account, right? Or in some books they just simply show it deceased partners directly from the capital account to the loan account also. Okay, here itself they can show it, the executor's loan account. And then if there is part payment of cash and executor's loan account, there will be deceased partners executor account debit to deceased partners executor's loan account to cash or bank account, right? That is very, very easy, right? Now I will show you the pro forma for deceased partners capital account, how the capital account appears. So this is how the capital account you have to prepare. It is same like what we have learned in case of admission, retirement, death, also will be the same thing. So what you have to do is that you have to start with the opening balance. If the capital is having credit balance, then it will come obviously in the credit side. Provided if it is debit, then you have to go with the debit side, right? So first of all, assuming that if it is a credit balance, it will be buy balance carried down here. Then buy salary or commission, whatever he is getting, okay, everything will come in the credit side. By interest on capital, by revaluation profit, by reserve, by profit and loss, the share of profit, then the share of goodwill that is going to be transferred by gaining partners, okay, and the share of profit which is due till the date of death, okay, that is by profit and loss suspense account. Then coming to the debit side, we have drawings that is to be debited from the capital. So to drawings, to interest on drawings, to revaluation loss, to profit and loss accumulated loss, to goodwill written off, to profit and loss, the share of loss, and ultimately after doing the balancing of debit and the credit side, whatever amount will be there, that will be confined to the executor account, to partners executor account. Okay, that amount will be transferred to the partners executor account, where it will be settled either by cash or transferring to the loan account. Clear? Now let's take up a sum. So here we have a sum. The balance sheet of Sudha, Rahim and Karthik, who were sharing profits in the ratio 3:3:4 as at 31st March 2012 was as follows. Okay, the balance sheet is given here. In the liability side, we are getting general reserve is there, bills payable is there, loan and capital is there. Okay. And the asset side, we can see cash, stock, investment, land and building, and Sudha's loan. Okay. Now, who died? Sudha died. Right. So, Sudha died on 30th June 2012. So, once you get the date of death, immediately you find out how many days was Sudha alive in this current year. So, our year ends on 31st of March. So, obviously, it is going to start on 1st of April. So from 1st of April, if you take, so 1st of April means whole of the April you are getting, then May month you are getting, then June 30 she died. So that means 3 months you are getting. So that means Sudha worked for 3 months in this current year. So the partnership it provided the following on the case of death of a partner. Okay, they have already made an agreement. Now if any partner dies, then how they are going to settle the books of accounts. Okay, so first thing, so we have to find out it's 3 months, and then after that the agreement are like this. First thing, you should also remember that goodwill is not given for the time period. Okay, goodwill will not be given for the time period, remember that. Okay, rest of the things like interest on capital, salary, then profit, this all will be given for the time period, but goodwill, then accumulated profits, reserve, these all things will not be given for the time period. It is given on the whole amount. So goodwill of the firm must be valued at 2 years purchase of average profit of the last 3 years. Last 3 years average profit will be taken, and on the basis of that, we are going to take 2 years purchase of for the purpose of calculating the goodwill. Okay. After that, Sudha's share of profit or loss till the date of death was to be calculated on the basis of sales. sales for the year ended 31st March 2012 was 4 lakh. Okay, last year's sale was 4 lakh, and that from 1st April 2012 to 30th of June 2012 it was 1,50,000. That means this year, for the time period for which Sudha was alive, for 3 months, right? So 3 months the sale was 1,50,000. So here remember that the last day also I told, and again I'm repeating, if the sales has been already been given for the specified time period, okay, like suppose Sudha is alive only for 3 years here, so only for 3 months here. So here also you can see that the sale has been given only for 3 months, so no need to take again for the monthly basis. Okay, here you can directly go for Sudha's share along with the other partners, obviously. Okay, the profit for the year ended 31st of March 2012 was 1 lakh. Last year they had made a sale of 4 lakh and the sale was 1 lakh, and this year for this 3 months the sale was 1,50,000. So how much will be the profit? We have to find it out, like what we have done in the previous class. Okay, same way we have to find out. So I'll just show you this particular calculation so that at the time we can go ahead. So we can see that profit for the last year it was 1 lakh and sale was 4 lakh. So what was the percentage? 25%. So 25% was the profit percentage of last year. So obviously same will be this year also. So for 3 months again 1,50,000 was the sale. So 25% of that will be the profit for this year. Like last year it was 25%, so this year also it will be 25%, right? Last year our sale was 4 lakh and the profit was 1 lakh. So accordingly it was 25% last year. So accordingly let's take it, let's assume that this year also we are going to put the sale percentage, profit percentage as 25%, and our profit will be 37,500. So 37,500 is the total profit of the farm for 3 months. Now let's find out what is Sudha's share. Sudha's share was how much? 3 by 10, right? So 3 by 10 of 37,500. So 3 by 10 of 37,500 will be 11,250. So Sudha's share of profit is 11,250. Clear? Remember that. You have to finish the working note simultaneously. So along with that, let's see the goodwill also. Goodwill of the farm was valued at 2 years purchase of average profit of last 3 years. So the profit of the last 2 years we have to see. Okay, we have to find out what is the profit of last 2 years. So it is mentioned that the profit for the last year was how much? 1 lakh. Last year's profit was 1 lakh, and here in point number D you can see that the average profit for the last 3 years is 42,000 already given. So no need to consider this 1 lakh now here. Okay, so it is already given 42,000, that last 3 years profit it was 42,000. So what will be the goodwill? Average profit has already been given, so don't divide it again by 3. Okay, so average profit is 42,000 and it is told that it will be 2 years purchase. So 42,000 into 2, okay, will be the total goodwill of the farm. And what is Sudha's share? 3 by 10. So let's see. Value of the goodwill will be average profit of the last 3 years into 2 years purchase. So 42,000 into 2, that is 84,000. And Sudha's share will be 84,000 into her share. So it is, her share is how much? 3 by 10. So 84,000 into 3 by 10, it is coming 25,200. Clear? Now remember, if the new ratio is not given, the old ratio will be taken as gaining ratio. Okay, the old ratio will be taken as gaining ratio. So what is the old ratio here? The old ratio of remaining partner, Rahim and Karthik, will be having 3:4. So in the ratio 3:4, this 25,200 will be given by Rahim and Karthik. To whom? Sudha. So the journal entry will be like this. Rahim's capital account debit. Okay, Rahim's capital account debit, Karthik's capital account debit to Sudha's capital 25,200. Okay, 25,200. And in case of profit, as I already told you, it will be profit and loss suspense account debit to Sudha's capital account 11,250. Okay. Then coming to the third point, interest on capital will be given at the rate 6% per annum. So what is the in capital? Sudha was having 60,000 as capital. So 60,000, 6% for how many months? 3 months. Okay, so interest on capital will be here. It is not mentioned. I'll just show you here the calculation. Okay, so interest on capital will be how much? 60,000 is the capital, right? Sudha's capital is 60,000. That means 60,000. Whatever the amount will be there, okay, that will be 60,000 into, just a minute, I'll just show you here. Here is the calculation, right? So I'll show you here. Yeah, just a minute. I'm trying to show you the calculation here so that you can easily understand how you are going to calculate this particular thing. Okay. So what will be the amount? It is 60,000. The capital was 60,000. Okay. And the interest rate is 6%. So 6 by 100. And the duration is 3 months. So 3 by 12. Okay. So it is coming how much? It will be 6% of this much will be 3,600, and again it will be 900 rupees. The total amount comes to 900 rupees. Okay, let's check it whether it's correct. Yes, it is. So it is 900 rupees. Clear? So try to understand that it is not very difficult one. Only thing is that you have to remember that goodwill will be given for the whole year, reserves and all will be given for the whole year, but interest on capital, salary, all this will be given only for a time period. Profit and all will be given for the time period for how many days the partner is alive. Okay, the average profit for the last 3 years 42,000 that we have already considered. Now the next one, according to Sudha's will, what has will means, you know, the document in which the particular partner has written the details about her property, who is going to get, how it will be given, everything. Okay, so according to Sudha's will, the executor should donate her share to Matri Chhaya, an orphanage for girls. Okay, so according to the will, what has been given is that whatever the executor should donate her share to Matri Chhaya, an orphanage for girls. That means whatever the share of Sudha will be there, that will be given to an orphanage. Okay, the payment will be taken as normally, nothing to hamper. But here some value based question is there. It's a value based. So what is the value you are finding here? Helping the needies. Okay, helping the needies. You can say, okay, that is the value hidden here. So let's go for the calculation and solving the sum. What is given? We are asked that we should prepare the capital account of Sudha and show how the settlement will be done. So all the calculations are over. What we'll do is that first of all we'll transfer the capital. So Sudha's capital is 60,000. So where it will come? In the credit side of Sudha's capital account. So Sudha's capital credit side, buy balance brought down 60,000. Done. Once this capital comes, after that what you will do, one by one you will transfer the reserves and all. So we can say only general reserve of 10,000 is there. So 10,000 of general reserve, how it will be settled? It will be settled in the ratio 3:3:4. So Sudha's share is how much? 3 by 10. So 3,000. So it will be again by general reserve 3,000. Okay. Then after that we will go for adjustments. Yeah, goodwill. So goodwill we have to give. So how it will be given? It will be given by Rahim and Karthik in the ratio of 3:4. They are continuing ratio. So what was the amount of share? Sudha's share of goodwill was 25,200. It will be given in the ratio 3:4. So by Rahim's capital, it is 10,800. That is 25,200 into 3 by 7. And by Karthik's capital, it is 14,400. That is 25,200 into 4 by 7. Okay. So that is how it will be given. After that, we are going to see the next one. That is Sudha's share of profit. So that also we have already calculated 11,250. It will be profit and loss suspense account debit to Sudha's capital. So Sudha's capital credit side by profit and loss suspense account 11,250. And after that we can see interest on capital, there is 6%, that is 900 rupees. So it will be by interest on capital 900 rupees. Done. Everything over. Okay. Now in the asset side, we have got one more item, that is Sudha's loan 10,000. If it is an asset of the business, that means the business has given the loan to the partner. Okay, try to understand. If partner related loan is standing in the asset side of the balance sheet, that shows that business has given loan to the partner. So if the business is giving loan to the partner, it means that partner will return it back, and nothing if it is mentioned, we will adjust directly from the capital. So this will be deducted from the capital. And how to deduct from capital? The journal entry is like this. Sudha's loan account was debit because it was our asset. Okay, now we have to close it by crediting. So the journal entry will be like this. How? It will be Sudha's capital account debit to Sudha's loan account. ठीक है? सुधा का लोन अकाउंट बंद होगा कैसे? ये डेबिट था, क्रेडिट करके बंद करो और कैपिटल अकाउंट डेबिट हो जाएगा. ठीक है? So Sudha's capital account debit to Sudha's loan account. Sudha's capital account के डेबिट साइड में to Sudha's loan account 10,000. Okay. We'll finally balance all the things, and the balancing figure of 90,350 will go to Sudha's executor account. Okay, we are asked to prepare only Sudha's capital account, so we'll transfer to executor account. Fine. And the value, you can say that supporting the sympathy towards the orphan girls, so you can say needy people. That is correct. Okay, both are correct. You can write according to the understanding. That's no problem in that. Clear? I hope all of you understood this question. Okay, now we will take another question where we'll try to extend it. So here we can see a question is there. A, B and C were partners in a firm sharing profits and losses in the ratio of 5:3:2. On 31st of March 2003, their balance sheet was as under. In the asset side, we have building, machinery, stock, patent, debtors, cash at bank, and in the liability side, we have creditor, reserve, and partners capital account. A died on 1st October 2003. So try to understand how many days or how many months A was alive. A share was 5/10. Remember that. And A was alive from 1st April 2003 to 1st October, right? 1st October he died. So up to 30th of September you can take. Okay. Obviously before that also he was alive. It's not that he was not alive. Means in the current year he was alive for how many months? April, May, June, July, August, September. So 6 months. Okay, 6 months. Don't know to consider October because it was only 1st of October that he died. So it will be 6 months. So it was agreed between his executor and the remaining partner that how they're going to settle. Goodwill will be valued at 2.5 years purchase. See, if suppose that there is no agreement regarding how to settle the account at a time of deceased partner, then they can consult the executor also, again mutually they can decide. Okay. If there is mutual settlement, then that will be decided mutually, or else it will be settled according to a Partnership Act 1932. So it was agreed between the executor and the remaining partner that goodwill was to be valued at 2.5 years purchase of average profit of the previous 4 years. So previous 4 years profit has been given here. 13. So in 2002 it was 13,000. 2001 it was 12,000. 2002 it was 20,000, and 2003 it was 15,000. So do the average of it, and into 2.5 years we will get the goodwill, right? That all of you know. So you can simultaneously solve it so that you don't find any difficulty at the time of solving the sum. So value of the goodwill, average profit, you'll find out average profit is 15,000. So the goodwill will be 15,000 into 2.5 years. So it is 37,500. Okay, and S share will be 37,500 into 5/10. So 18,750. Yeah. Which will be adjusted by B and C. Since the new ratio is not given, so the old ratio of B and C will be taken. That is 3:2 will be taken as the gaining ratio. So that means 18,750 will be adjusted between B and C in the ratio 3:2. The journal entry will be like this: B's capital account debit, C's capital account debit to A's capital account, right? And after that, now coming to the second one, patent be valued at 8,000. What was the patent value? Patent was 11,000. Now it is 8,000. So 3,000 rupees loss. So remember, asset and liabilities revaluation is going to be shown in the revaluation account. So 3,000 loss means revaluation will be debited by 3,000. Now machinery at 28,000. So machinery was 30,000. That also 2,000 rupees loss. Again revaluation will be debit 2,000 more. And building at 25,000. So building it was 20,000. Now it is increasing by 5,000. So revaluation will be credit 5,000. So the journal entry will be like this. For patent and machinery, it will be revaluation account debit. How much? In case of patent 3,000. In case of machinery 2,000. So the total comes to revaluation account debit 5,000. To patent 3,000. To machinery 2,000. Clear? In case of building, the revaluation will be like this. Journal entry. Building account debit 5,000 because earlier it was 20,000, now it is 25,000. So 5,000 increase will come like this. Revaluation account will be credited 5,000 and building will be debited 5,000. So journal entry follows like this: building account debit 5,000 to revaluation account 5,000. Clear? So let's we will later solve it in the revaluation account. Then after that we can see what is the profit for the year ended 2003-4 will be taken as having accrued at the same as that of the previous year. So 3-4 profit will be taken like that of 2-3. So 2-3 means 2002-3. So it was how much? 15,000. Last year's profit it was 15,000. We can see in the point number 1 we can get it. Last year's profit it was 15,000. So that means for 6 months A is going to get 15,000 rupees into 6 by 12 into what is his share? 5 by 10, right? So let's find out what is A share of profit. 15,000 into 6 by 12 into 5 by 10, it is coming 3,750 rupees. And the journal entry will be like this: profit and loss suspense account debit to as capital account 3,750 rupees, right? Uske baad next what is there? Interest on capital will be provided at a rate 10% per annum. So in the previous question I told you the same way. Interest on capital will be 30,000 into 10%. So 30,000 into 10 by 100 into 6 by 12. So how much will be the amount? 1,500 rupees. You can calculate and see. Okay. Then half of the amount due to A to be paid immediately to the executor. Half of the amount after balancing will be transferred to the executor in the cash format or bank format, provided we have to see the balance, how much we have. And the balance will be transferred to his executor account. Clear? We are asked to prepare as capital account as well as the executor account here. So executor account also we'll understand from here. And since we can see there is change in the asset and liabilities, so for the working note purpose, we'll prepare the revaluation account also. So let's start with the revaluation account. Since we have already finished the working note on goodwill and profit, so we'll go for the revaluation account. So in the revaluation account, as I already told you, there were 2 items. Revaluation account debit to patent was 3,000, to machinery was 2,000, and building account debit to revaluation was 5,000. So revaluation credit side was 5,000. Now in this question you can see very interesting fact is that the debit side of the revaluation is also 5,000 and the credit side of the revaluation is also 5,000. Both the sides are same. So there is no profit, no loss in revaluation. Okay. So just make the totaling of both the sides, nothing to balance here. Okay. If there were any extra balance, then we need to do the balancing, and that would have been either profit or loss. But here it is neither profit nor loss. Then coming to the capital account, we'll prepare the capital account now. So in the capital account, as I already told you, we'll start with the opening balance. That is opening balance of A, it is 30,000, and there is reserve of 6,000. So reserve will take later. Let's start with the capital first. Buy balance brought down in the capital account is 30,000, and after that reserve. So remember that S share is how much? 5 by 10. Okay, 5 by 10, and the reserve is 6,000. So 5 by 10 of 6,000 will be obviously 3,000 rupees. So by reserve it is 3,000 rupees. Okay. Coming to the next one, that is goodwill, that will already been calculated. We saw that it is 18,750. It will be given by B and C in the ratio 3:2. So it will be B's capital account debit, C's capital account debit to A का capital account. So A के capital credit side में क्या होगा? By B's capital account, by C's capital account, right? 11,250, 7,250. That is 18,750 in the ratio 3:2. 3 by 5 B has given and 2 by 5 C has given. Now coming to the next one, goodwill is over, patent is revaluation is over, profit we have to find out. Profit we have already find out. We have already calculated, that is 3,750. That will be given as profit and loss suspense account debit to A's capital account. So A के capital credit side में by profit and loss suspense account 3,750. Clear? उसके बाद क्या है? Interest on capital 10%. So I already told you the calculation. It is 30,000 into 10% into 6 by 12. So it is coming 1,500, right? So it will be by interest on capital 1,500 rupees, 1,500 rupees. Clear? And after that, we have seen that half amount will be paid to A and the remaining will be transferred to the executor. Okay, it will not be paid to A, it will be paid to his executor, and the remaining will be transferred to the executor loan account. So what we will do the balancing and transfer the balance to the executor first. So after balancing, we can see the amount is 57,000. This 57,000 will be transferred to the executor account. Okay, but you should be careful while seeing the balance sheet. Okay, in the balance sheet we saw only reserve, but you should check once again before doing the final balancing if anything is left or missed out. Okay, so this particular point is very, very important in the final exam. Many times it happens that the students complete the sum and then come to know that there is one item that has been skipped, so they have to again cut and write. So be very careful. Okay, so this 57,000 will come in the executor account, the credit side. Obviously the journal entry is like this: A is capital account debit to A is executor account. So A के executor credit side में by A is capital account 57,000. And now this 15,000, 57,000, half of the amount will be paid. So it will be to bank 28,700, sorry, 28,500 rupees, and the remaining will be transferred to A as executor's loan account, right? Executor के loan account में. The entry will be like this, journal entry. So please make the journal entry also. Okay, as I'm telling, make the journal entry also. Remember, revise the video once again and make the journal entry in the final exam. Either ledger or journal, anyone can be, any one of these can be asked. Okay, so journal entry will be like this: as executor account debit to bank account 28,500 to as executor account 28,500. Clear? As executor account debit 57,000 to bank account 28,500 to as executor loan account 28,500. Clear? Okay, so that also you just see. Now since we can just make a note, since we can see that in the bank balance we had only 8,000, so it's shortage, so obviously we are going to take the balancing amount as loan. So bank loan. Okay, we don't call it bank loan, we call it bank overdraft. Okay, so that is why the payment has been settled with the bank. Also another reason for settlement of the bank is that we have got only the bank cash at bank in the balance sheet. Okay, so if it is only cash in bank, then we'll mention it through bank account the settlement has been done. So you just make a small note for that. It has been assumed that due to the shortage of cash, bank overdraft for the required amount has been taken to make the payment to as executor. Okay. Well, this particular sum you can better solve it as a homework and try it. If you are not able to do, I will just help you out. Okay. So that's all in this video. I'll just show you the solution also of this so that at least you can try. If you are not able to do, you can verify with this solution, and then you can call me also if you require. Okay. Okay, then we'll end up the class here. Please take care of yourself. Mark the attendance. That is very, very important. That's a proof for your attendance of the class. Please take care of these things and watch all the videos so that you can understand accountancy very, very nicely and properly. And for any additional information or need, you just call me. Okay, feel free to do that. Please take care of yourself and stay safe. Bye bye.